Hello, my dear seekers of stories. Welcome back to NoorTales. Tonight, we journey into one of the oldest, most powerful, and most haunting stories ever told. A story that has echoed across generations, across civilizations, across sacred texts, and across time itself. But the version we explore tonight is not softened. It is not simplified. And it is not distant. It is raw. It is human. And it is deeply, painfully real. It is the story of a man who spent nearly 1,000 years calling his people, guiding them, warning them, loving them, and still watched the world end anyway. A man who stood firm when everyone turned away, who spoke truth when it was rejected, and who trusted in what he could not see, even when everything around him said otherwise. This is the story of Prophet Nuh. So wherever you are, take a deep breath, let the noise of the world fade away, and step with me into a time long before ours, time when everything changed. The story of Nuh does not begin with water. It begins with people. A people who once knew Allah, who once lived with guidance, who once remembered what was right. But slowly, almost quietly, things began to change. There had been righteous men before them, good men, kind men, men who reminded others of truth and goodness. When they passed away, the people mourned them deeply, and to remember them, they built statues. At first, it was innocent. Just remembrance. Just respect. But time has a way of changing things. Generations passed. Stories faded. Tensions blurred, and what began as remembrance became ritual. What became ritual slowly turned into worship. And before long, the people were no longer remembering the righteous. They were worshiping them. They forgot Allah. Not suddenly, not all at once, but slowly, till truth became unfamiliar, and falsehood became normal. And so, into this world of quiet forgetting, Allah sent a man from among them. Not an angel, not a king, a man. Nuh. He spoke gently, clearly, patiently. Worship Allah alone and turn back before it is too late. But they refused. Not once, not twice, 4 generations. Quran tells us he remained among them for 950 years. 950 years. Calling, warning, hoping, waiting, by day and by night, in public and in private, and still they turned away. They didn't just ignore him. They mocked him. They ridiculed him. They covered their ears so they wouldn't hear his words. They turned away deliberately, as if truth itself was something to avoid. Their leaders said, "You are just a man like us, and only the lowest among us follow you." They didn't attack his message. They attacked the people who believed. But Nuh responded with calm dignity. "I do not claim to be an angel. I do not say I have treasures, and I do not judge what is in their hearts. Allah knows them better than I ever could." Still, they refused. Years turned into decades, decades into centuries, and Nuh remained, calling, even when it felt impossible, patient, even when it hurt, until one day, through nearly a millennium of endurance, he made a prayer, a heavy one, a painful one. "My Lord, do not leave a single one of the disbelievers on earth, not out of anger, but because they had gone too far, and would lead others into the same darkness." And then, command came. Allah said, "Build the ship under our guidance, and do not ask about the wrongdoers." So Nuh began to build a ship in the middle of dry land. No river, no sea, no storm in sight. Just earth, wood, and faith. And the people? They laughed. They mocked him openly. They passed by, shaking their heads. How can this man build a ship where there is no water? But Nuh did not stop. He simply said, "You mock us now, but soon you will know." And he continued, day after day, year after year, building something that made no sense, until it would. Then, the sign came, not from the sky first, but from the earth itself. Water began to rise, from places it had never come from before. And then, the skies opened. Rain poured down like never before. Relentless, unstoppable, Allah commanded, "Take into the ship the believers, and pairs of every kind." And they entered, one by one, but only a few believed. For 950 years, only a few. And then came the moment that would break a father's heart. Nuh called out to his son, not as a prophet, but as a father. "Oh, my son, come aboard with us. Do not be with the disbelievers." But the boy refused. "I will take refuge on a mountain. It will protect me from the water." He trusted what he could see. The height of the mountain. The illusion of safety. Not the truth that had been spoken to him his whole life. And Nuh cried out, "There is no protection today except from Allah." And then the waves rose, and they came between them, and his son was gone. The ark sailed, carried by waves, like mountains. The world disappeared. Everything familiar, gone. Homes, fields, people, all beneath the water. And inside the ark, a small group of believers, saved not by strength, but by faith. Nuh said, "In the name of Allah is its course and its rest." And they sailed through a world undone. Then command came, "O earth, swallow your water. O sky, stop." And just like that, the storm ended. Silence returned. The waters receded. And the ark came to rest on a mountain, a place of stillness after chaos. And Nuh was told, "Come down in peace and with blessings." And from that moment, a new world began. From a small group, from survival, from faith after destruction. And here we pause, 'cause what stays with me is not just the flood, it is the patience. 950 years, calling people who would not listen, of believing when no one else did, of building something that looked foolish until it wasn't. The most of us will never face anything like that, but in our own ways, we face smaller versions of it, holding on to truth when it's ignored, standing firm when it's uncomfortable, continuing when it would be easier to stop. Nuh did not just survive the flood, he endured everything before it. And even after everything, he still turned to Allah. That is strength. That is faith. That is legacy. Thank you for being here with me tonight. And I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye, Crescent Moon.